Welcome to lesson number 2. In this lesson, we will talk about the perceptions of reincarnation in different religions and more. Let's define what is reincarnation. This is the process that our soul goes through throughout its development, in cycles of birth, life, death, and rebirth. That is, our basic essence, the soul, takes on a different body each time and spends lifetimes in the material world over and over again. The belief in reincarnation and the continuation of the soul is widespread in different cultures. In most cultures, in the East and the West, there is a belief that there is life after death, and that life energy does not disappear after the physical body decays. After death, the soul moves to a spiritual world that is defined as heaven, hell, or the next world, and then merges with the divine source, or returns to the material world in a newly born body. Most cultures believe that throughout the tractate of reincarnations, the soul undergoes processes of experience and learning, each time in a different body, under different conditions, and with challenges that it has chosen for itself. The situation is a little different in Islam. The Quran and the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad do not support the theory of reincarnation and believe in the reality of one lifetime that ends with a final judgment. In most cultures, it is explained that a person who did not complete his mission in the world throughout his physical life returns to it in another form. In religious Judaism, it is believed that a person must fulfill all 613 commandments throughout all his incarnations, and until they are completed, he will continue to reincarnate. Also, a person must reincarnate in order to correct things that he has spoiled or failed to rectify in previous incarnations. In fact, only the parts of the soul that need reincarnation descend into a new incarnation, because what has already been corrected cannot be spoiled again. According to Judaism, we routinely experience the separation of the spirit and the soul from the body during sleep. The Kabbalah defines this as a little death. During sleep, the vital soul, the nefesh, remains in the body and maintains all of its vital functions. The spirit, ruach, and the higher soul, neshama, ascend to rest in the upper worlds, to recharge, to refresh, to receive guidance and knowledge, and upon awakening, they return to the body. For this reason, a special prayer is said in the morning. I give thanks before you, living and eternal King, for you have restored my soul within me with compassion. Great is your faithfulness. It is not self-evident that the soul will always return to the body after being absent from it during sleep, and this must be acknowledged. When examining the strict religious approaches to reincarnation, we learn that the new incarnation will be determined according to the good or bad deeds of the person in previous incarnations, or to correct something that he ruined in a previous lifetime. In this view, things are simple and clear. The descent into the material world and into a human body is a punishment. Someone who has failed in one of the commandments, committed a transgression or failed to observe the religious laws must return here to correct the iniquity. In Judaism, for example, one of the main offenses for which one must return and correct is theft, murder, or failure to produce offspring. According to the religious view, reward and punishment are the main motive for reincarnation. In Judaism and Christianity, man is considered corrupted being who comes to the material world to correct himself. Man must correct the sin of the first man, which is a general sin of humanity, and in addition, correct personal offenses committed in another body in a previous incarnation. Is man really born spoiled? And what is the point in creating beings who are imperfect? This will be answered later. Here is an interesting explanation of why the entire process of death and rebirth is called reincarnation, or in Hebrew, Gilgul, which describes the motion of a wheel. One of the rabbis explained it in this way. The essence of reincarnation, or Gilgul, is in a change of form. Imagine a wheel whose axis is on the horizon. Its lower part is visible in this world, and its upper part is visible in the upper worlds. The wheel is constantly turning. Sometimes we're down in this world, and sometimes up in the spiritual worlds, above the surface, where we do not know much about it. The soul that is held in the wheel is passing alternately between the spiritual worlds and the material world. The life of the soul is one of great sequence of events that never ceases, until it reaches a state of complete rectification and returns to the source, ceasing to exist as an independent entity. In the next lesson, we shall discuss why the process of incarnation is necessary and what the soul is. So thank you, and see you in the next lesson.